And we're live.
You gotta take yourself a picture.
Did. Let's see if there's anyone on.
Can I give you Xander
to play with?
Give you my remote.
Remote. Here.
That's a good remote, not that one.
Not a good remote. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone, you're looking there. Maybe you want to switch this over here. Maybe you want to switch this over here so we actually look in the screen. There you go.
Hi Jimandan, hi. Hi Naku.
Hi Naku, hi. Xander, say hi.
Say hi, Zans. He's looking at himself. Hi Dwight, hi Janice. Welcome.
Welcome. Hope your Sunday has been going well. Today is Sunday, what date? 16th?
18th.
18th of July. It's mid-year. Alright, so I have a lot of trucks passing. We have construction actually going on in the area. Hi Dwight, yes, we've been keeping well, busy. Very busy. So persons who bought Ocean Point, congratulations. Ocean Point have started handing over the houses now. So you see how time flies?
1 year.
Is it 1 year?
1 year.
1 year.
Last year, June, we were selling. At the end of June, we were selling.
End of June, we were selling.
Into July.
Right.
1 year.
1 year. So you have to remember to take action, right?
1 year is very short.
Very short. But the thing is, I can't remember. If it was for Ocean Point, I wouldn't remember what I was doing last year, June.
Yeah, that's true.
So it does go by very quickly. Hi, Debbie Ann. So you're on YouTube Live with Claudia and Tonian and Xander. And this is where we take your questions about real estate.
And more.
And more. So it's real estate, wealth, and money. Real estate and money tie in, and real estate and wealth goes together. It's like if you don't have any real estate, you can't have any wealth. Can you? When I talk about Bitcoins and stock market and those things, right?
You can have a business that generates lots of cash.
Generates lots of cash, but how sustainable is it? Like in the pandemic, there are lots of businesses generating lots of cash. And what happened to them?
Not if you're a supermarket. People seem to eat more during the pandemic.
They ate more.
Maybe there's nothing else to do.
No, Xander, put on your feet. Yeah, they did. They ate more.
Stress eating.
And they did a lot of shopping too, yet some of the shopping networks actually closed down. Joy says she's from Queens, New York. Hi, Joy. Hi, Kevon. It's Kevon. Hi, Kevon. You find a Sunday to be on today. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. So today we're going to look at adverse possession. That's a little bit more down in the program. Some of you will know what is adverse possession. Some of you won't know, but stick around and you find out. So you can either be an adverse possessor or you can be an adverse possessee. You told it. You want to sneeze?
Man.
Xander's here probably.
Yeah, whatever you put in it.
Xander, you gotta keep quiet. Hold on, he has a hair right here. Is that a hair? Yeah.
I have like the worst allergies.
Yeah. Hi, Xander. So Xander is not sitting still these days. He's bouncing around. Xander. You see yourself? Oh, you getting now? You see yourself? Isans, look here. Look this way. Hmm? Hmm? One,
Ooh, there's
two.
somebody from Tampa, Florida.
One,
Hi.
two, buckle my shoes.
Their handle is out of many. We are one. That's nice.
We have that as our motto. I wish we actually believed it though.
I think we
I
do.
don't think we do.
You don't think so?
No. Out of many, we're one. No. We live very segregated in this country. So we have lots of nations here, but we actually live segregated. We don't live together, right?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Maxine. So remember, you can ask us any question about real estate.
Oh, there's somebody from England. Secret 77. Hi.
How you know she's from England? Oh, the flag.
Yeah.
Is that secret or S3? Both of us wear glasses, and none of us have on our glasses today.
It's S3, but it's spelling secret.
S3 spell secret?
Yeah.
Oh. How does it spell secret? Secret 77. Hi. No, I'm a secret. Oh, you're a secret. I can't just see that being on the dating apps. You know, Secret 77. And they would wonder, are you a girl? Are you a boy? Let's put him to stand, Tony. Maybe that will help him better. No, put him in your lap to stand.
My lap to stand.
He needs his mother needs to come and get him. Clap, clap, clap.
Yeah, he's starting to clap now, you know. Not often, but he claps now when you sing. You hear somebody singing?
What I want to sing. Clap your tiny hands.
Clap your
Clap, clap, clap.
You're not clapping tiny hands. You looking at us. Clap your tiny hands for joy. Jesus loved to hear little Xander sing. Clap your tiny hands for joy.
Clap, clap. Clap, clap. Clap, clap.
Oh, Secret is hoping to move to Jamaica. Nice. Someone's asking for a mortgage rep.
All right, Maxine is a mortgage rep. Oh, question mark. Mortgage rep. Do you want us to give you a mortgage rep? You're early for class, Stephen. Yeah, you're early.
Steven.
We're doing adverse possession today, Stephen. Secret 77 says, hoping to move to Jamaica. How soon you want to move to Jamaica? Xander, Pander. How soon you want to move to Jamaica? You have to make the move now. Clap your tiny hands. Clap, 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 clap. Clap your tiny hands for joy.
Love he just holds his hand like an old man, like seeking deep thought.
Yeah. Pleasant Sunday, Nicole. Do I need to establish a Jamaican bank account to get a mortgage? No, you don't. Oh, I should tell you. Should I tell them now or tell them later? Tony, you need to post the mortgage rep. Yes, secret. I still have a renovation company. What is it, Zan? Trying to find something from. Tony, you can take the questions on please.
Maxine says, asking, you gave already. How long they usually take to respond after submitting the documents?
About a week or two. They respond immediately. Yes. So after submitting the documents, about a week or two. Who wants to come to me?
There you go. Nicole wants to know, no, Claudia, if it is good news. If it is good news, no.
Do you cover the Boscobel area? Yes, I do. I cover all the saints, usually St. Thomas, St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Andrew, St. Catherine. All right, so Jamaica National says, we'll help you find a way. I have a question. I want to get into real estate. However, I was wondering if buying an apartment from an established vacation destination in St. Anne or building. You want to get into real estate as a developer, as an investor, as an own home owner. What is it, as a landlord? How you want to get into real estate? Building scratch from Negril, which do you think is a better option? Is Negril a fast growing? What's the target market if you're building Negril? Who you targeting? You're targeting returning residents, you're targeting tourists, you're targeting the locals. Who are you targeting? All right, so what do you think about that? So Jamaica National says they have a revised mortgage offer for you all. 100% financing is back. Ouch! Oh, those of you who missed it.
That's what, 1 year it's back.
It's back. If they were doing it right in 2020. It's back, no, in 2019. So all the way up to 2019. 100% financing. So now it's back. Isn't that good, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to run this down now.
Yeah.
So they're giving you 100% financing. You're going to choose a mortgage plan that best suits your lifestyle. So you can now get up to 100%. So if you want 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, you can still do that. But I'm giving you up to 100%, right?
No money down.
No money down. But that's not all. We have sweetened the deal with the following new rates and benefits. Your interest rates are as low as 6.5%. Yes. And you have up to 40 years to repay. So those of you who are my age, 55, join with your children, right? You're younger, so you can get up to 40 years to pay if you join with your kids. You get longer time. So the mortgage is less. They're also giving you life and home insurance under one umbrella, and it's included in the monthly payments. So your life is insured. So if Tony and I buy a property, something happened to me, Tony and his left, my life is insured. So the life insurance pays for the property. So Tony doesn't have to pay any more mortgage. Isn't that good? I know some of you in the countries that you live, that's not automatic, but I can tell you, in Jamaica, that is 1, 2, 3. That's standard.
That'll be good.
You know, we also get home insurance. So home insurance covers our perils like earthquake, hurricane, flood. It covers that already. So you don't have to worry when you buy a house in Jamaica. Where's if you buy it in Jamaica National? Sorry. Customers can qualify for a JN Bank Visa pre-approved credit card. We don't want that. Right, Tony?
No.
We don't want the Visa pre-approved. But we definitely would want the life and home insurance under one umbrella. And we would want low interest rate of 6.5%. And we would also want 100% financing.
Those would be really nice. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to have a decent job with good credit.
Yeah.
And
a good debt service ratio
to own a property.
Right.
You don't need to have any savings.
No, you need some money. I'm sure what the bank has not told me here is, what's it going to cost for them to give me this loan?
Oh.
Is it no processing fees? I would love to say that.
No processing fees.
No processing fees. Then I just come with me too long and
how much is a processing fee really?
I don't know. It can be anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5%.
Okay.
Depending on the bank. So Jamaica National. Sweeten it now. I said no processing fees. Then you would be talking. Then we'd be running all the way to the bank. All right. So you're targeting locals and tourists. And even in the US, you'll need a credit score to buy a house in Jamaica to get a loan. Do I need? Yes, you'll need. We don't look at we're not looking at credit score so much. Credit score really just tells us if you pay back your loan on time. That's what credit score does. But we're looking at more than that,
right?
Yeah, but we're looking at more than that. We're looking at the income and versus your expenditure. So much money you take in, how much you spend out. So if you take in $100 and you spend $100, you're not getting any loan. Because we're looking definitely at how much you spend, right? JN 100% finance. Called up a few weeks ago and I was told it's only applicable for persons living and working in Jamaica, which is great. But do you know if this offer is still the same just for persons living in Jamaica? I can check that for you. Well, this was sent to my email, and I guess they know I live in Jamaica. So I need to check. Let me see.
So it's only for persons living in Jamaica.
That's what
everybody else gets the regular loan.
I don't know.
Is it just the 100% financing, or it's a 6.5% as well?
I don't know. I'm gonna check.
Dwayne Bennett says, I'm about to buy a house for 14 million NHT, going to lend me 6.5. I'm going to pay the rest cash, but I'm going to be broke after. I don't like loan. You'll be cash poor, but house rich.
If that's any consolation. 14 million energy lend you 6.5, going to pay the rest cash, but I'm going to be broke. That's fine. If you can accumulate the difference between 14 and 6.5 million, I'm sure you will have that back in no time.
Right? You're a good saver.
Because you seem to be very disciplined, eh?
Nephew says, at the time I was told the JN rep that overseas persons were being offered 90% financing.
Oh. Let me just send a WhatsApp.
You okay?
Post the link, Tony. Sunday, your mommy need to come for him. Does he want to sleep? I do believe so. He's yawning. Come to me. Come to grandma. All right, here we go. But don't take everything off my head and my arm, off my ears. Xander, look through the window, but don't touch anything here. Remember what I said? You cannot touch this thing here. I'm not going to listen to that talk.
Okay, I posted the link. Do we have any more questions? At this time, no other questions as yet.
Xander is driving me nuts. I need to send a WhatsApp message.
Let me send it for you.
Check on the. Say I'm on YouTube Live, and I'm being asked if the 100% financing applies to overseas customers. Does it apply to overseas customers, Xander? All right. So we're trying to find out. You can also send it to maybe I need to find the answer. How I get down to the next question? But you said to me that you're buying an NHT, you're getting 6.5, and you're using up the rest of cash. Now the thing is, when you use up your rest of your cash, you won't have any money to go into another deal. So think about it, guys. When you use up all of your cash and buy the property, you won't have any money. Suppose you see another deal and you can't go into it. How do you? You understand? Mm-hmm. How you access the that there? Tony, you have to take this. You have to take that. Run All right, so I've been answered. So this is Danny Service who is answering me here now. So she says you get 90% financing. They're giving 90% financing to overseas clients. Take him to his mommy, right, Tony. I put him in his playpen. Playpen's under. Playpen, you're gone, gone, gone. Goodbye. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Bye. All right, now Tony's gone and she didn't show me how to look at the questions. All right. How soon do you get the sale agreement after you have selected a lot? Where? Which development? A lot? Hi Zella. Hi NC. Which development? If it's Bellacre, usually within a day or two, the sale agreement goes out by the lawyer. If you're overseas, if you can't get a loan to refurbish a property, of course you can't get a loan to refurbish the property. Are you using the property as a collateral? You just have to make sure it has some equity in it. So if you bought a property years ago for 5 million, the property now value 15 million. Usually you can get what's called a home equity loan. And yes, you can get the loan to refurbish a property. But why would you want to do that though? Buy a new property. Buy a different property, man. That way you have two. It was 90% before, right? Yes, it was. But for locals, for Jamaicans living here like me, they're now offering 100% financing, 6.5% interest rate, and they're offering you life insurance and home insurance. So that's a big plus, right? Big plus. Naku says it was 95 for overseas. No, she says it's 90. I don't know if it was 95 for overseas, but it is now 90% for overseas. Wonder, ask Danique how much for home equity loan. So how soon are we required to make the down payment? Can you go through the process, please? MC, you asking me about a specific development or you just want to know the process in general? Are you suggesting using the equity to buy another home? I do not have, I do not have a Jamaican bank account. Secret 77, you don't need a Jamaican bank account. So if you go with a company like Jamaica National, we have put the link in here for you. Just sign it up. Then Jamaica National will actually own the account for you once you get in the loan. So if you don't have a loan with them, once you get in the mortgage, they automatically open a bank account for you. So just like that, you have a Jamaican bank account. Wow, that is more than a big plus. Yes, it is, guys. Now, those of you who are timid or afraid to get into the real estate market, you should be. I mean, the prices of everything went up. Worse in the pandemic, everything just went up. So if it's even a fall COVID that you could ask more money right now, right? Fisherman Point, still a good place to purchase. Yes, it is. Somebody asked me about the equity. I didn't answer it. So you have equity in your home. You can either take out the equity, buy another property, but I don't like that option. I don't take that option. So if I have a loan, so let us say I have a loan with Jamaica National for a property, I would prefer if I ended up having, I do have a loan with Jamaica National, come to think of it, right?
Yeah, you do.
So when I bought the property, I think it was 5 million or something like that. I paid down, I borrowed, what's about 2 point something?
I don't
remember. But the property value something like, must say, near 20 million now. So I could also take out the equity. So I could say 85% of 20 million is 60, is it 17 million? And she answered about how much percentage? Is it, I'm doing the math, but I really don't. Let us say the equity is 85%. So So that's 17 million I could have gotten minus the
You
loan.
actually answered 85%.
Oh, it's a good guess. So it's 85% that I'd be getting. So if the place valued 20 million, I would get 85%, which is 17 million, I think, if my maths is good. So I could get 17 million from Jamaica National minus what I still owe them. So let us say I owe them $2 million still. I could get 15 million as a home equity. But if I take the home equity on the property, I wouldn't take my home equity and go do a renovation on the same property. What's the point of that? Really? I would take my 17 million and go buy myself another property.
For 17 million.
Yeah.
So that own it's actual cash you get, so that property is free and clear. And the loan is on the first
and
property.
the loan is on the first property.
That's not bad.
No.
Because you could always buy an income earning property and
Right.
use that income to help
clear back the mortgage. However, if the property with the equity is a prime piece of real estate, now, everybody, you know a prime piece of real estate when you see it, right? So in Jamaica, prime real estate is real estate that is in the middle to upper belt. So like, or in Jamaica, Kingston, in St. Andrew, Kingston 6, Kingston 8, Kingston 10, Kingston 6 being the highest belt, right? So if you have a property in a Kingston 6, and when you look around, you can't see no zinc fence, and you don't see no inner city, and you're in prime real estate, and you look around, and the other properties look pristine, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Then you're in a prime real estate, you're in a prime area. So would you put equity back on? Would you take equity back out of that property? I wouldn't. So if I buy the property and it now value 20 and I owe Jamaica National 2 million, me the Europe and pay of Jamaica National and take back my title and not tell a lie. So if I qualify, so it means now if Jamaica National has given me 17 million in equity, it means that I qualified to get a loan for 17 million. So what I would do is take the 17 million and buy a new property. Where's Jamaica National telling them I give 100% financing? You understand? Mm-hmm. So I take the money, they buy a new property. That property is carrying the loan. Work very hard and pay back the people their money, right? So that they don't take it from me. And you have two properties. But I would take out equity again on a property that is prime. Why? For me, personally, it's all about generational wealth. So if I happen to own a property in a prime location in Jamaica, I would want to make sure that that property continues down the line to Xander. You know, this I'm a bypass Tony and Rachel. You Tony,
yeah,
will bypass you. So I want to make sure it passes to Xander's children, and so on down the line. But if I take equity on it, I start paying a mortgage again all over, something might happen like a pandemic.
Yeah, you can't lose it.
And then I can't pay for the property after me this so near for finish pay of Jamaica National. No, you not take them kind of risks, right? Now if it's a property where me I said, sure, property and not too atina, you know, then maybe me that give to Jamaica National. But you have to think, when you're taking equity, you have to. I personally don't like taking equity from a property. Once I buy a property, I want to clear the bank, clear the loan, clear whoever else I need borrow money from, and get back the title in my hand, so I have it free and clear, and it is available to the next generation. And you would also teach your children not to take loans on prime real estate either. All right, you're to use it in any other way, but not to take a loan.
Here's a question. Hi, Claudia and family. I'm purchasing a home through the bank. How soon after getting the commitment letter would I sign the deed and get my keys?
Commitment letter sound like it's a bank? Well, after commitment letter come, you wait. After the commitment letter, you're waiting on the undertaking. Letter of undertaking. Usually somewhere between the commitment letter and letter of undertaking, the bank will call you and you sign up the as you said, the deed, but that's really the mortgage offer or the mortgage deed that's going to go on register on the title. So once you sign that,
But
maybe it's another 2 to 3 weeks. Your name should be on the title. Once a lawyer moves quickly and submit it to the titles office, then within 2 to 3 weeks, you should have your keys.
Okay.
Everything is genuine. Everything is dependent on the lawyer who has carried out sale.
And then,
and how quickly that lawyer actually moves.
And the bank, right? Could they have to do like
and the bank,
the underwriter or something
yeah,
like that?
the bank has to, no, the bank has to, the underwriter already do it when them give commitment letter. So the bank would have to do up that document because you're getting a loan from the bank, right? So the bank is the one who does the mortgage deed, or the bank's lawyer, appointed lawyer who does it. And send it over, you sign it, and then so it's a pretty, when I was taking loans, a pretty quick process. Matter of fact, when I was taking loans, it was 3 months was the closing. Now it's like so long. Like, what are the banks doing? I need to ask the bank reps, what are they doing?
Maybe there's a lot of loans.
It's taking us like 6 months to close sales now with houses that are already built.
I'm thinking because there's a lot of persons buying real estate using mortgages.
Yeah,
so
I don't think the bank
officers have to be working.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I don't think the banks have caught up with their back end. So I think the front end, on the front end of it, the marketing is good. They get you into the bank to take this loan, but on the back end of it, the banks have not kept pace with the increase in customers.
And not only that,
and that's part of the challenge.
There's a lot of persons advocating for the banks to help them get mortgages.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The marketing arm is strong. So like Danique, who's in marketing, congrats, Danique. You know, the marketing arm is strong, going well, but on the back end, we have the bottleneck because I've had persons say, oh, Ms. Davis, the mortgage rep don't get back to me. Oh, Ms. Davis, why is it taking so long for them to tell me if I get in the loan, not getting the loan? But I know because the back end has not caught up with the front. But just bear with us. We are, and then now Jamaica National says 100% financing. So listen, people, if you're not getting yourself through the gate fast, you're not get it. You understand me? You have to get yourself through the gate fast, right? Because remember, to money not indefinite or infinite. Sure. Money must run out at some point. So get yourself in
or another pandemic
or something else is gonna come and happen.
And he wants to know, good afternoon, how long does it take to register a land?
Register land? You're registering from no, you don't have no title, that's what you're saying? That can take you out 2 years. You need to tell me, you have unregistered land, it sounds like. So it sounds like your land don't have any title. Your land don't have any title, they're gonna take you anywhere from 1 year to 2 years to do it. And you can go to this company called Geoland, they'll do it for you. I was in Geoland, when was I in Geoland? Wednesday? Doing the same thing for a client. You can appoint an agent like myself. When I say agent, not sales agent or real estate agent, but an agent to act on your behalf to do this. Of course, we're going to charge you money because we have to go in there and do all kind of things, right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna take them about a year to 2 years. They have to do advertisements. They have to check with the people who you are going to give them to the affidavit to say yes, them know the land. A couple of things. I think I actually did that in a session already, showing you how to do it.
Secret says, thank you for your clear response. Need to have a further discussion with my mother. Lenny says, late in the house. Hi, family. Hi, Lenny.
Hi, Lenny. Is Secret buying? Secret is the one buying the 14 million property? I'm not sure. Taking a loan? I'm too scared to be a landlady. Too many horror stories. Stop the rubbish, Secret.
It's not as bad as you think.
It's not as bad as you think.
It's like getting an injection. You think it's the most horrible thing ever, and then it happens and it happens.
And it's gone, and you're like, I mean, no.
And honestly, for the most part, I think tenants are good people.
They are.
Yeah, they want somewhere to live.
They want somewhere to live.
And they want to be comfortable.
They want to be comfortable, so you can't rent them the old rectangle place where I pop down and come on, like me, you know, like roach and lizards. I don't want to rent nowhere with roach and lizards, right? But if you treat the tenants good, the tenants will treat you good. right? You're a good landlord, you'll find good tenants. And you just have to do some checks. Sometimes you get it wrong, because I've had to evict tenants. You know what I'm saying? I've had to evict tenants. But the laws are there that you can use. You go through the process and it works, right? You go through the process and it works. So just quickly, I'll tell you. So the tenant doesn't pay the rent. It's due the first of the month. It's not paid. You wait until the 30th of the month and you serve a notice for them to vacate, giving them 30 days clear notice before the next rent is due. You give them the notice, them still don't move. You find yourself down to the courts. In Kingston is the Sutton Street Court. You go to the court in the parish that you have the rental property and you ask to get recovery of possession of your property. If it is that them owe your rent, and you can ask for rent to recover rent. But if it's a tenant that you really want to get out of the place, ask for possession, right? Ask for possession of the property. Because if you only ask for the rent and the tenant pay the rent, the tenant you're not going to get back recovery of possession. So you have to ask for both things, the money and the recovery of possessions. Sometimes I will give up the rent if I want to just get the tenant out, right?
And the thing is to act early.
Early,
Some
right.
people wait until the tenant is not paying the rent for a year before you act.
10 years,
10
12 years. And don't bother, So you have to act early. You have to act immediate. So the rent is due on the 1st. It's not paid. The 2nd, the 3rd. You pick up the phone, you call, they say, hey, I notice your rent is not in the account. What's happening? They might give you a story. You say, so when is the rent going to be paid? You get a commitment as to when the rent is going to be paid. Some people give you some excuse about them can't do the transfer and them can't offer to pick up the rent or offer somebody to pick up the rent. But you must be forthright. You must be like me, no nonsense. And you get on the phone, what is the problem? You've lost your job, what is it? Whatever. Of course, if you're a landlord who have mortgage to pay, you have this to do with the rent,
If a tenant is not paying their rent, you need to become an uncomfortable presence in their lives.
Very.
Very uncomfortable presence.
Tony, you learn that the hard way.
Man.
So, as Tony said, you have to become a very uncomfortable presence in their life. So you're like calling, you're visiting for your rent. You cannot just sit back. Find out what's going on, why the rent is not paid. So I was telling you the steps. So you go and get the summons. You serve the summons on the tenant. There's usually a court date. Present yourself to the court. You don't really need a lawyer in this instance. Present yourself to the court. You will have time to speak, and the tenant will have time to speak. And I can tell you, if the tenant giving the judge no full story, the judge is going to order them removed immediately. And you wait, you get the order. When you get the order, you take it to the bailiff and they'll pay the bailiff fee and they'll handle it from there. So the court is there, the system is there in place for you to use to get out the tenant. What happens is a lot of you don't use the system. You just don't think. And the court is not even expensive. The court is like dirt cheap, guys. It gets costly.
Do you have to go directly to the court? Can you go to rent board first?
You can, but the rent board, what the rent board are going to do? Rent board is not the court. The rent board can't order the person to leave.
Oh.
So if you want the person to be ordered to leave, people usually go to the rent board when there's a dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would say, they ask the landlord to fix the roof and the roof never fits. Mm-hmm. So they go to the rent board to mediate the dispute.
Mm-hmm.
The landlord usually will not fix it if there is rent outstanding. And the landlord will come and say, hey, you owe me so much rent, I can't fix it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But usually if there's a dispute, that's a rent board. And if you want possession of your property or you want your rent, go to the court. Court in Jamaica is very efficient in that regard. All right. And there's no fees. You're gonna pay something like maybe $1, $2 if you pay so much. It's not the court is for everybody, right? The rich, the middle class, the poor, which is why the fees are set so that you can come and get your recourse.
And Amy wants to know, good afternoon, is there a residential property management company you recommend?
You can try Victoria Mutual. I know they do that. Sagicor does it too? I think so. Victoria Mutual or Sagicor?
Good afternoon, guys. I'm seeking a 2-bedroom to buy for no more than 9 million.
Which parish is that you're looking the 2 beds? That, let me say my advertise my enjoy too much about alcohol on my only day off on a Sunday. Carefully though, Levy. Boy, I stay far from alcohol.
Out of many, we are one. I don't get it why isn't it okay to use the LCOC loan to refurbish your property?
The equity loan to refurbish your property? There in the States, we do that all the time. Oh, yeah, I know. They encourage you to do that. But are you getting ahead? I mean, so your property, this equity is quote unquote in the property. You know, it's an illusion, right? Because, give you the example, buy a property for 5, put in 3, or the bank 2, then them tell me say the property value 20 million. Where the additional 50 million comes from.
Demand for the area that the property is in.
No, what is really equity? No, equity is the difference between how much you borrow or how much you borrow, how much you don't pay the bank. So they will use equity loose with you or in illusion with you because the equity is really the difference that you pay off the bank already. So if I borrow 2 million and I only owe Jamaica National 1 million, now my equity is really only 1 million. But they're calculating the equity on the total value now of the property. Now, what has caused this property to go up in value? Something called inflation. Something also called maybe the US dollar exchange rate. Something called, because in a nutshell, if you say, all right, take a rich one, started at 195,000 when the US dollar was 80 something to 1. If it was still 195,000, the dollar is now 150 to 1. So technically, you would have said, oh, you have a 200% increase. But really and truly, it's because the dollar slide. And not only that, you have an inflationary economy. So the equity, so taking 80%, 85%, as Danny said, 85% of the 20 million that it valued now is, in other words, you give them your property, they give you the cash, but is it really 17 million? It is 17 million. So if you're going to do that, you want to buy another property, you don't want to dump the 17 million on the same property. Because let us say it's a house that I live in. Let us say it is a house, a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom house that I live in. And I take the 17 million and renovate the same 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house. Is it going to value that much more than the 20 million? Am I now able to say this property is now valued 20 plus 17, $37 million? I don't think so. Can I? Chances are, too, if it really valued at 37 million, you might be above the values in the area that it would comfortably sell for. You understand? And also, let us say that mortgage, that 2 million mortgage was 20,000 Jamaican. Now I've taken 17 million Jamaican, dumped back into the same property. I'm now paying a mortgage of 150,000. I personally feel cheated. I feel like I'm paying for the same property all over again.
Yeah, but now you have granite countertops.
That don't mean anything. That's not a real value, everybody. If you're going to do flooring, if you're going to do the renovation, do it out of pocket. That's what I say. Are you safe to it? So if it is.
So what happens if property values fall? You still have that loan to pay?
Of course, and therein lies the danger. We all assume because in our era and lifetime, property values keep going up. But that's not true. In Jamaica in the 70s, property values fell out of the sky. Those of you who may be old enough, I don't know if anybody here is old enough to remember, but in the 70s, people are given property and a run for it. Literally, in the 70s, when we had the whole communist fear of whatever was going on, people were literally packing up and running, and who had the cash at the time could have bought the property for peanuts. Now, since then, property values haven't really fallen out of the sky, like drop out of the sky like that since then. However, there's nothing to say that it won't happen again. There's nothing to say, which is why I firmly believe if you control a property that's prime property, you don't want to do something frivolous like take out equity to do a home renovation in the property. Now, if it is that you're doing an addition to the property where you're going to be earning income from the addition, then I would probably consider it, right? So you have a 3-bedroom and you're now going to make a duplex where you put another 3-bedroom and you're going to be earning money that will cover the mortgage and the more, cover the expenses, so you now have a cash flowing property. I remember we spoke about the difference. We spoke about cash flowing property with Robert Kiyosaki taught us. Those of you in my investment group would have learned that the property, the income from the property must be more than the expenses from the property so that you have a cash flowing property. If you're going to take the equity from the house and you alone are going to pay the mortgage and you're not getting any added benefit, all you're getting is more loans to pay, then you don't have an asset. You have taken a perfectly good asset and now turned it into a liability. And as Tony says, if the value drop out of the sky, where you leave with the bag with the loan, right? So think about it. So who was asking me the question again?
I think it was secret.
Secret. Think about it. Ask me another question. Let me fledge it out some more. So tell me what you think. How I just said, tell me how you think.
For me, it said just got a loan with JN, 34 years, 6.5. My question is, can I pay 2 payments each month to pay off my loan quicker, or would that charge me?
Would they charge you to pay more? Long time I don't take a loan from Jaden, guys, but
I think there's a waiting period though.
Usually you have to wait. I remember when we take the loan, you have to wait maybe 1 or 2 years before you could actually start paying off the loan.
I think it was it First Caribbean, and they said you have to wait 3 years.
You have to wait 3 years. And you have to wait too. If I look on one of my things, I can tell you. I just don't have it in front of me now. And I don't know if they have it on the website. But I need to get a JN rep here to come and answer some of these questions. But usually there's a wait period. Remember I taught you how to use a loan amortization calculator. So Sharmi, were you here when I did it? So go on the loan amortization calculator. You're going to look. Maybe we should bring up a loan amortization calculator.
Sure.
So what I say to people is you go on the loan amortization calculator and you're going to see, you're going to put in what you just tell me. So you got, well, you never tell me how much loan it was, but I can estimate it. Let us say it's a $10 million loan. You are with additional payments, with extra payments. Type in with extra payment. Bring up a loan amortization calculator with extra payments. Or if you don't have Google, you can go to your Excel. So you go to Excel and you go new and you go templates. There's a loan amortization calculator there. Maybe we should use that one. Bring up your Excel.
Excel? Do I have Excel on this?
You don't have Excel on this?
I should. I think so.
So the big bad Apple don't have Excel.
No, it's not the Apple. It's you have to buy that separate.
I was like, so you buy a big Apple and you have to buy Excel separate? And my little idiot computer come with Excel?
No, I bought it.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, yeah. It's cloud based, and then it you just pay for it.
Pay for it yearly. Oh,
I just not sure if I'd put it on this one since I don't use this a lot for work.
All right. So
it has it.
You can't open it. All right. So somebody says bread and breakfast is less headache. No, it's not less headache. It's more headache. Because for one, you're not sure you're going to have somebody in there. For two, you always have to be cleaning it. For 3, you have to watch your utensils and your furniture. You have to watch them like hawk.
No, that's
Every time the people leave, you have to keep checking stuff.
And you have to be changing sheets and stuff a lot.
A lot.
Because one little stain.
Yeah, one little stone, you buy board till a week, but you still have to throw the towel on the sheets.
Well, you're not bored.
What name? What the thing name, man? Somebody tell me what name, yeah. Borax, what's that name?
I can't remember.
To soak it in. You do get some more work with the more than having a single tenant, but sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. It just depends on the market.
If you get a good single tenant, you don't even have to look at the property. Like,
yeah.
The money comes like clockwork. You don't even have to check it.
Yeah, you don't do any maintenance. So you Excel verifying. You sure you pay for this thing?
That's what I'm wondering.
All right, extra payment mortgage calculator. Let's go here.
Hold on, we're not sharing screen. Let's share screen.
Set pass off my answer blocks. While I'm on this now, I see people, my screen is lighting up. Persons are calling me on WhatsApp.
Don't touch the mouse. Did we come offline? Why am I not seeing anything?
Go back to your thing.
Yeah. Here we are. Let's see if I can share the screen now.
1 second, everybody. I'm just answering somebody.
I think we're having slow
internet problems. Check your connection.
Okay, so it looks like it's gonna work for me today.
All right, so you got to file new. But Excel is in the cloud, so if you don't have internet, you're still gonna have problems. I have to go to file new. When I was using these things, the Excel and everything, the Office suite was on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's in the cloud. They've gotten smart. Huh?
I think opening so many.
Maybe you should go back to the cloud. All right, let me see.
Right.
Now the questions have disappeared. You know, you're having problems with your internet service.
Can you find any?
I think go back to the cloud. Go back to Google. For some reason you're not. Let me see if we came back. Yeah, we seem to be back. Right, everybody, we're trying to bring up a loan amortization calculator so that we can actually show you how to deal with extra payments. Extra payments with National Housing Trust is actually easier because you can, well, I don't know if they still do that. They do it online now though. You can put extra payments. We're not sure because we don't even pay NHT anymore.
Hallelujah. Knock on wood for that.
Well, let me see if it works. Knock on wood for what?
No more NHT payments.
No more NHT payments. Kind of miss NHT. The payments were low. All right, so your loan is 6.5. Let's say your loan is 10 million. You're going to look for a mortgage calculator that allows extra payments. The down payment is 10%, which is 100%, 100,000.
$1 million.
1 million, sorry. So the loan amount is 9 million.
What just happened?
Scroll up.
This is what page we're on?
Scroll down. Stop. Original loan structure. Complicated doing it. So what you're gonna do? Some banks will allow you to make the extra payment once per year. Some allow you twice per year. So what you do, you're going to use a calculator to calculate. So let us say you want to pay off this loan. She got a 30 what year?
34 years.
A 34-year mortgage. Let us say you look at it and you say, you know something? It sounds to me, you're saying 2 payments each month, so you can actually pay double the money. Sharmeed, how much is your monthly payments on this loan?
To check her response.
Internet not working, man.
No, it's buggy.
Are you still hearing us, everybody? You seem to be having bad. Come on, Digicel. Bad signal. I don't think they're hearing us.
Yeah, I'm gonna log on to YouTube and see. Yes, we can hear you. They can hear you.
They can't hear us. Oh, but the internet not coming in. All right. So let's forget about that for a while. So you go on the loan amortization calculator. You're going to put in your loan, right? So put in your loan amount, put in the interest rate that you said 6.5, and put in the years. So you got it for 34 years, and you will see it calculate roughly. So it's going to calculate it without any insurance or without any other fees that the bank may have charged you, that Jamaica National would have charged you. Then you're going to add the extra payment. So you want to make an additional payment. So let us say your payment is 55,000 per month. You sound like you want to pay them 110,000 a month. So you can put in 110,000 per month, and you will see how quickly it's going to kill your loan. So what you do, put the money, the extra money, if the bank will allow you to put the extra money to principal every month. You ask them, or you read the document that they give you. The document that they give you with the loan tells you. So if they allow it, you go in, when you're going to pay your monthly payment, you carry the extra money with you and you say, put this to the principal. Always say that. Put this to the principal. If not, if the bank doesn't allow it and they allow it every 6 months or every year, what you do is you save up the money, and then at the end of the year, end of the 6 months, you walk into the bank, make sure you don't owe any monthly payments, and you say to them that you are paying this on the principal. Now,
okay.
Some banks
are monthly payment is 140.
140. Some banks require, internet still not coming up. Some banks require that you, let's do it again, require that you give them notice to make the extra payment. So read the Jamaica National would have given, or whichever bank, they would have given you a document. So you have to read it. It's usually in the document. All right, so today we're doing adverse possession. Is it time to get to it? 4 o'clock.
She borrowed 23 million.
Have it back in. Loan amortization.
Not working.
I don't know what's going on today. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Did you say they let me down?
Let me go back. There's so many questions here. Okay. So good afternoon. I'm just joining. That's Dwayne.
Hi, Dwayne.
Dwayne says, what about the landlord who is sloppy in fixing the property and general upkeep of the property, meaning leaks, duck ants eating down board, etc.?
Yeah, you have some of those landlords. But usually you write the landlord, make a list of what's wrong,
And you move.
and you move. But you can ask the landlord to, you can get an estimate for the repairs or the whatever it is, and you can deduct it. So let us say you pay 100,000 for rent, and the repairs is 80,000. You do an estimate, you show the landlord. Some landlords will allow you to just do the repairs and deduct the 80,000.
It depends on the landlord you have. Sometimes you have really elderly landlords.
Yeah.
You probably can't manage
all of that. So you just have to work with the landlord. Most landlords, I think, are reasonable.
Yeah, and get to know your landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Secret says, my mother says that I'm too soft for Jamaica life, hence my landlady quote. But will definitely speak to my mother regarding using loan to buy another property.
Well, you just have to try it. If you try like it, sell back the property. You don't have to hold on to the thing. Sell it back.
No, that's
give me a headache.
I think becoming a landlord toughens you up.
It
Because
does.
I'm not the toughest person out there.
No, if Tony can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Although sometimes you get stressed out, but I mean, it's something which you have to learn, right? So just like anything else, it's something you have to learn. Mm-hmm. And some things, like me, I learned about landlord business from my Aunt Dolly, who was a lady that I ended up with when my father threw me out and me bounced around the place. She me finally end up with for a catch with. Actually, she never have no space for me. I slept on her bed in her room and everything. When Tony born, Tony was premature. So we put Tony in the bath pan right between us. Pat it up. Put in the bath pan right between us. And she never have space like that. But I went there and we were good. And she was the one who taught me about writing rent receipt and stuff, because she built up a whole house in a fair yard and went around, and some people never have it, some did have it and pay, and it wasn't a bad experience, you know?
And what I've learned though in terms of being a landlord is that if you do it right, there's less fight. So when it comes to like repairs, like one thing that always happened was that the toilet would leak. So I just started going through every 6 months, I just changing the flopper balls, just so that I wouldn't have that issue of a tenant calling me to say that the toilet is leaking, and then it runs up my water bill, and then I wonder what's happening. Right. So you just have to check the property and make sure it's okay.
Yeah, you have to check it, and you have to be present. So you can't be an absent landlord. If you're going to be an absent landlord, you need a good property management company. Yeah. Because things do happen, and it needs a landlord's presence, right? To just like any other business, if you're absent, your business are gonna run down. And we just say something about do it right.
Do it right, let's fight.
Do it right, let's fight. So we get out of them quote there to the Tony.
There's quotes that I live by.
Yeah, do it right, let's fight. All right. Same thing with the relationships. Do it right, let's fight.
Questions.
And guys, you can't be afraid to jump off of this fence, you know. Come on, man. Jump off. Oh, you're going to learn if you not take the leap. Eh? Take the leap.
Okay, here's another one. Faye Johnson says, Miss Davis and daughter, what if it's a squatter? It has to go through the court. I know this is a way off question. Thank you.
No, it's not. We're going to be doing that later on in adverse possession. Comes the whole thing with squatters, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should start that. No, we have a lot of questions.
We have tons of questions.
All right, so if I can answer them real fast.
Someone says, I'm looking for a house in Portmore. And Arnett, you have any houses in Portmore coming up? You may have a Waterford.
Me.
Arnett says, just joining. I finished with a court case to get my destructive clients out of my house. Thanks to the court and the bailiff, they are out.
Good. Yeah.
Monique says, is 4,400K is a reasonable price to design a building plan, 4,000 square feet of house in Toronto. 440,000 K.
That's Jamaican.
Yeah, to design a building plan for a 4,000 square feet house in
So
somewhere
reasonable.
else.
Divide 440,000 divided by 4,000, and you'll know the price per square footage. What's the next question? It sounds reasonable.
Dr. D says, good point on the equity and renovation topic. Faye Johnson says, most people don't even know what situation.
What? Don't even know what?
What situation? Know that situation.
Okay.
And if says, what if you pay contributions to NHT? Can you still get a loan from JN?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, you can get any amount of loan you want from JN. I've had these 4 loans I've taken from JN. Once your debt service ratio is within what they're looking for, not in the debt service ratio is at 50%, it should still be at 50%, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So debt service ratio, yeah. Once the debt service ratio can carry it, you shouldn't have a problem. You can take as many loans as you want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Junior.
It's only NHG blocks. Only NHG says 1 loan per person. And still, I can now still take a loan, a 15 plus loan from them. But again, the 15 plus loan is for me, so I can get 2.5 again.
But that's for improvement.
That is for home improvement. So I am now, so okay, I have the perfect example. And tell me if this makes sense. Tony, get back to the screen. Tell me if this makes sense. So I took a loan from NHT for 1.5, I think it was. I think Tony's loan was 1 million. Mine was 1.5. And I built a house with it, right? Buy the land, cash, and build a house. I pay NHT monkey money. At the end, I was paying like 20%. I got rid of it. The house value 20 odd million. Remember now, I borrowed 1 million from NHT. House value 20 odd million. NHT saying, hey, I'm giving you a 20 plus. Come and take 2.5 million and do a renovation on the same house. No, I'm not allowed to take the 2.5 million and join with my daughter or join with my grandson to buy a new property. They want me to take the 2.5 million and do what? Change out the tiles, change out the bathroom, and what else?
Granite countertop.
Granite countertop. Why would I give back NHD my title to do that? Why? And now at 55, I'm going to be paying more than what I was paying for the past 20, 25 years. Don't make any sense, guys. Don't make any sense. I tell them I don't want a loan. I said, when them even write to me and ask me to come take the loan, I said, I don't want a loan. When you say I can use the money, if it's even for me to go buy a piece of land, I can't take the 2.5. I'll buy a piece of land and I will pay the monthly payments gladly. But I'm not going to take the 2.5. Go and go get granite countertop, change out window and door and carpet. Go pay. Again, I'm paying for the same house 2 times, not doing it. As a matter of fact, I took 1 million build a house. Now I'm borrowing 2.5. So it's like me pay 2.5 times again for the same house. That don't make any sense, everybody. Remember, you are to focus on assets, not liabilities. So if you're going to spend the money, so if I'm going to spend this extra 50,000 a month to get this 2.5 million home equity loan to do a renovation, I must be getting money back. So the income versus minus the expenditure must be more. Can't be me, I take out 50,000 out of my pocket every month and get NHD for no reason. Focus on assets, right? Not liabilities.
Out of many says, I understand your point, but I use my equity to upgrade and purchase other property.
Yes, that's what you use it for.
Just have to watch the market. It's a risk.
Right. Buy another property. Don't renovate the same property. You're going to do the same property, do an addition to the property that brings in income that is now an asset to you. Remember, Robert Kiyosaki teaches us that an asset is something, whatever that may be, that puts money in our pockets. That not, anything with take money to your pocket is a liability. All right? Focus on assets. Any more questions on the start?
There are some. Good afternoon, Claudia and Tonian. What is the estimated time for the Bell Acre? We went by today. It looks like next year to me. With Marcia.
Marcia, we're trying for December, Marcia. We still have 6 months, man. Don't count we out yet. Still no, we have 5 months. Oh, we're in July, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marcia, we're trying to get there. We're trying to get there. The hard part gone already anyway.
Lenny Beckford.
So Marcia, your house not up yet. If your house not up yet,
no, her house is up.
Her house is up. So you get to show.
She's on the first row.
Oh yeah, my house, man. December you get yours.
Lenny Beckford said, I understand you, Miss Claudia, about not using about all your cash to pay the balance. One also need to consider that the existing home one acquires may need updating in order to get it rented.
Oh. But you can still borrow. We bought a property, the same Jamaica National. Remember, Tony? The apartment. Let me tell you, the first time we went into this rental thing, you know, with the apartment, you know.
That was our first step into rental?
Yes, I was saying, yeah, man, we're going to buy this. Today, Sunday, we saw it actually in paper. We'll run, go look for it today.
Wasn't the house in Spanish Town?
No, remember, we lived in that house. I'm talking about, we moved from that house. I'm talking about the house that we actually bought to rent.
Oh.
Not to live in the house now. So this is an investment property now. So that is the same property, I tell you that. And we never have no money. Walk into Scotiabank, the man, listen, we need 300,000 right now. But when I see apartment, I want deposit, and the man start laugh. And then we get the 300,000 still. That was called Scotia Plan loan. That's what I used. But when Tony and I went, we start, yeah man, we go Jamaica National, get the loan. I think the property was 2.8, borrowed 300,000, deposited 280. The other 20 was for the closing costs. We took the loan from Jane and went in now and started to clean out the place. Remember, we started clean out the place. And in the bathroom now, clean out the bathroom. Rent this place, I know it now. A man from downstairs named Mr. Hawk run upstairs and said, what's happening? What's happening? I'm flooding. It's raining in my apartment. It's raining. I said, what? Anyway, we went downstairs, looked in his apartment. Luckily, the bathrooms are over each other. It was literally raining in his apartment. I said, Tony, that's why the place so cheap.
Yeah.
Because we did, and that's another thing. When you're looking at property, make sure you turn on the pipes. We didn't turn on the pipes. We even got some furniture with it to show you didn't want to get rid of the place. And
we still have that furniture.
We still have some of the furniture. Yes, I'm looking at furniture right now. We got a set of settees with it. And we got some other stuff too. He says it's raining in his apartment. I was like, what am I going to do? Anyway, calling plumber, everybody, we still couldn't find a leak. I'm just saying something. Now with me now, you know. Anybody who know me, so I solve problem once and for all. I mean, I think around it. So we have to go to the bathroom, you know. I got the bathroom, I got the kitchen. I went back to Jamaica National. I got an extra 300,000. Gave them my estimate. Got an extra 300,000 from them. Went, called my plumber and said, got the bathroom. When we took out the bath, would you believe, guys, it was the bath, what do you call it, the waste, the bath, the trap that they put under the bath to trap the water so that the smell don't come back through. That is what was cracked under the bath. And nobody thought to take out the bath. I mean, when you look at the place, you know, silicone all over because they must seal up bath and whatever, all from the floor everywhere. It was the waste under the bath. So when you have a problem, you live in a 2-story or you're in an apartment, and when you look up, you see leakage and there's a bath above, usually it is that bath, the waste. Because that means stand up on the bath, heavy people stand up on it, Eventually it shifts and it cracks.
Mm-hmm.
It was that. So you can also go, I tell you that story to tell you, you can also go back to the bank and get the money to go borrow to go do the renovation.
Mm-hmm.
You still not have to take it out of your pocket. Once your debt service ratio will carry it. And the debt service ratio at Jamaica National is now 50%, right? So what that means, 50% of your income is for loan. Let us say you're earning 100,000 a month, 50% of it can pay loans. So you can carry a loan up to 50,000, and that includes all loans: student loan, car loan, fly-by-night loan, all kind of loans. So it must come up 50%.
Sophia wants to know, good afternoon, ladies. Does a developer obligated to give a survey diagram with the title to a purchaser?
They're not obligated, but it's something that they usually do because they're the ones who peg out the property. But that's not usually, and they usually do it with houses. The house, when they're building a house, they will usually give the survey diagram just to show you that this house is on the property properly and it has not breached. However, I've noticed with the land development, they don't usually give you a survey. You have to go do your own survey.
And I think one of the reasons why they do it too is because with home developments, they can't have 50 surveyors come in on the property to inspect. It's just too much stuff going on to have them do that.
I think the most reason is because I want to make sure to tell you the house never breach when them give it to you. You have some people, once them do addition, them breach that. Next.
Sophia wants to know, Keith wants to know, what do you think about Ocho Country Club versus Happy Cove?
Well, they're on the same road. I haven't been to Happy Cove. I've been to Ocho Country Club. Ocho Country Club have a good design. I love the design. I haven't been to Happy Cove, so I can't even compare. But they're on the same road. So I don't know. Are they the same price? I don't know. I haven't been to Happy Cove. I don't know about Happy Cove. We must go to Happy Cove. It's just on the road.
Trevor Bernard says, hi, ladies.
Oh, hi, Mr. Bernard. Good you could join us on this Sunday.
Sophia wants to know, what can you do if a developer do give all the advertise? Don't give all the advertise.
Don't give all the advertise. What can you do? What would they not give you that they advertised? I can't imagine if them say granite countertop and them say that.
They usually don't say granite countertop. You usually say solid surface countertop.
Solid surface.
And that can be any of the three.
Yeah. What is it that they didn't give you though? Don't understand. What is it that they didn't give you? Is it you alone who never get it? Or everybody in the scheme didn't get it? They can give you a substitute. You understand? So if they say they're giving you mowing faucets and no mowing faucets are available because the ship them brought down to China or whatever, then they can give you an equivalent like a Delta faucet or something equivalent. But what is it that you didn't get from the developer though?
Hi, Jaman.
All right, we need to start this lesson on adverse possession. Is it, what else you have, Tony? Give me the question real fast.
Lenny says, Miss Claudia, would you take the equity out to buy a retirement land for a property that is not in a prime location?
I'm not going to take equity from a property. What's the question though? So I don't understand. So I wouldn't take equity from a property that is prime real estate. So in other words, if I own a Kingston 6 house in St. Andrew, I wouldn't take equity from a Kingston 6 house to go buy a property at Spanish Town.
No, they said not a prime location. But I don't think I would take equity out to go buy land.
The land is not in a prime location?
Would you take the equity out to buy retirement land from a property that is not in a prime location?
Yeah, I'd probably do that if it's not in a prime location.
Mm-hmm.
Or you sell the property. If the property is not in a prime location, why are you holding on to it anyway? Sometimes you have to unlock your properties, as we have discovered. You have to sell and unlock to do something else. So in that same apartment I was telling you about, we actually sold it because we started making money. Then we had a recession in 08 or 10 when I had was it that time cash plus all in debacle when the some of you would not realize it, but we had a in that whole cash all in thing, property values went down.
That's when Home Electrics and Rooms went out of business, don't it?
I don't know, it could have been before that.
But I remember
tenants, that was 08 and 2010 we're talking about.
Oh.
Tenants were scarce. So the rental market for overseas got way down, right? So we actually sold the property and bought another property. Sometimes, guys, you have to unlock your property. Unlock. That's how you unlock now the so-called equity that is built up. You sell the property and you now buy another property in a prime location. Put money upon that to borrow the extra money that you need from Jamaica National now and buy another property. Sometimes you have to do that. All right? Instead of carrying a loan on a property that don't make sense and a loan. And sometimes it make it so when you get into investments, you have to remember the property that is no longer an asset, it's not making any money, it's hard to rent, it's just a bother and it's giving trouble or whatever. You bought the property for 2 million, property now value 10 million. Sell the property, guys. Give somebody else the blessings. Are you frightened to see how blessings open up back for you? Right? So sometimes you have to do that too. Unlock and move on. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that as well. Those of you who don't buy the book, you need to go buy it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, I think you should start your lesson.
All right, let me start my lesson now. So Tony, how do I get this over here? I go here to the screen. Share screen.
No, once you...
Hold on, bank rate, come on back. Hold on. Yeah?
Where's the start slideshow?
Hold on. Play from start, yeah. But is it shared to the screen?
Yeah, it is.
Are you sure? Double check your screen.
Were you sharing screen? No, we weren't sharing screen. We were not sharing screen. Let me escape this. To share the screen here. Ah, there we go.
All right, so we're doing adverse possession, everybody. Some of you know what that is. Some of you don't. You probably hear it by the wayside, but you don't know what it means for you. Adverse possession means when somebody adversely possesses you. All right, let us see. So let us see how this is going to affect you now. Some of you will be glad that I showed you this. Some of you will be happy and say, yes, I can do this now. And some of you will not be so happy, all right, that I actually discussed this. So the term adverse possession refers to a legal principle that gives a title to someone who resides on or is in possession of another person's land, right? So it refers to the legal principle that gives a title, a registered title, or give ownership to someone who resides on or is in possession of another person's land. The property's title is granted to the possessor as long as certain conditions are met, including whether they infringe on the rights of the actual owner and whether they are in continuous possession of the property. Adverse possession is sometimes called squatters' rights. Somebody was talking about squatters earlier. Although squatters' rights are a colloquial reference to the idea rather than a recorded law. So squatters' rights is not a law as we know it. It's not on the books of laws, right? It's more said on a man in the street. You're a squatter. And I have squatters' rights. but it's not rights that are written in any law. All right, now, so let us see. Adverse possession. So adverse possession is regulated by 1, the Registration of Titles Act. Now that is a law. So you can Google that, everybody. Google the Registration of Titles Act and you can go and read it. Jamaica, put Jamaica behind it. You can go and read it up and see what it talks about. So the Registration of Titles Act governs titles on a whole, the title to your property. There's also, its adverse possession is also regulated by the Limitation of Actions Act and case law. So the Limitation of Actions Act basically is an act that limits actions that you can take. So in other words, if you didn't take that, if somebody lick upon their head, and you never run to the court and say, this man licked upon my head within a reasonable time, the Limitation of Actions Act stops you from now coming to say the man licked upon your head.
That's what always happens to the rape victims.
Right. You have a certain period within which you have to act, right? You must act. Now, the Limitation of Action Act states that where, in this case, adverse possession, the Limitation of Actions Act states that where the registered owner fail to take action within 12 years, squatters may have a claim for adverse possession. However, on government land, squatters must show an unbroken 60-year occupation before the squatter can make an application for adverse possession. So everybody, a squatter can claim adverse possession on your land if they have been in possession undisturbed for 12 years and more. But when it comes to government land, they have to be there 60 years in occupation before them can get any adverse possession claim.
There all your life.
All your life, or somebody else's life too, maybe.
No, I mean all your life.
All your life. Now, it can be, being on somebody's land can be intentional or unintentional. So intentional adverse possession, a trespasser or squatter knowingly comes onto another person's land to live on it and take it over. So if them intentionally move in by your land, put up a board house, put up a board shed or whatever, and them come there and them live on it, them intentionally want to take over your property, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it can also be unintentional adverse possession. So for example, a homeowner may build a fence separating their yard without realizing that they have crossed over onto the neighbor's property line.
Mm.
So you can build, you're usually building in the boundary, right?
Right.
But sometimes the man building fence and him the 2 feet, 3 feet over upon your land. Now, him can also claim it. Now, in either case, the adverse possessor can lay claim to the property, and if the claimant is successful in proving adverse possession, they are not required to pay for the owner of the land.
So you mean to say if a man builds a fence accidentally 3 feet over onto my property, I don't realize because I don't do any survey. He doesn't realize because he doesn't do a survey. He's there for 12 years and then I try to sell my property and realize it's breach. He can then claim adverse possession of that 3 extra feet.
Yeah. Don't have to take down him fence.
He better move that fence.
And him don't have to pay you. So that's why you have to check your property, right? So that can be intentional or unintentional. Now, to claim adverse possession, you must show that you have been in continuation of the property. So you must show possession of the property continuously. So you can't be on there 3 years, then you go live with your granny, then you come back in the 5th year, and you live there again another 6 years, and you go back to your granny and then you come back and then you say you have a claim. No, you must be there continuously for 12 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. You must show continuous use. Second one, hostile takeover of the property. No, hostile takeover does not mean squatter use force. It don't mean that, guys. But they must show there is no existing agreement or license from the landowner, such as a written easement, lease, or rent agreement. So if you have your land and you allow the people to live on it, you don't go to them, you don't do no lease agreement, You don't, you see the people drive through your land or them walk through your land every day if you go for them yard. Them have an easement now. You don't say to them, no, you can't walk here, so stop. And you don't part it off or do an agreement to say, okay, John Brown have a right to walk through the land for the next 1 year and renew it every year. Then you can be in a hostile takeover situation. Right? So, to claim the possession, you must be showing continuous use, or it can be a hostile takeover where there's no written agreement, anything like that. You just depend on the people in land. All right, the next one. Open and notorious possession. Notorious. All right. Quarter possession of the property is obvious to anyone who observes it. So,
we've seen a few of those.
Yeah. So the man move on onto the property. Him put up him house and everything. And everybody sees the man live there.
Neighbors even say hi to them.
Yeah. Nobody decide to move this man or ask him, who is you? You own the place, what you doing here? Right? You not call Mary foreign and say, Mary, me see a man moving for your land and you put him here. Nothing. So the squatter possession of the property is obvious to everyone who observes it. So that's another one for you to claim. Actual possession is another one. So the squatter actively possesses the property. This may include maintaining the land and paying taxes.
That's the one most people do.
Right. No, there is an obvious squatting going on in a property on Roehampton, I think is the name of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Where the lady moving,
I don't know.
Put up her window and everything and is living there quite happily. I hope the owner for that property.
It was a shell though, don't it?
It was a shell.
Yeah.
It burned out. I hope the owner for that property is listening to me today and go take possession of the property. The property is used so exclusively. The property is used solely by the squatter, excluding any others from using it as well. Can you imagine?
But I've seen where we've had cases rather of family members squatting on.
Yes. Them just get the key. I've had cases where they call me to sell the place, and when I go there, this family member has got the key somehow, or I don't know, they must write a lot something, and they're living there, and the owner is like, "But nobody lives there. This is supposed to be an empty house." Well, you have somebody living there, though. So, those are the things, right? Also, now to claim first possession again. So if you meet all of the things I said before, you also need to have a certified copy of the registered title for the land. You get a formal affidavit. You pay up the property taxes, so you get a property tax certificate. You need 3 affidavits from persons who knows the squatter occupies the land. So if you can find Miss Mary and Miss Brown next door, if you say, yes, man, Miss Davison occupied the property for 12 years or more. She alone lived there. Nobody come disturb her or say anything. You can get an affidavit from somebody who know if it's that. There you go. You also need a surveyor's identification report. And you need to prove that attempts were made to contact the registered owner. So, and also registration fees. Now, sometimes the registered owner has died.
Yeah.
Right? So the registered owners have died.
Not only that, they die, and then the family member who should have inherited don't probate the will and get it transferred.
Don't do nothing overseas. I talk about me don't want nothing Jamaica. Me don't want nothing. Me don't want nothing from him. Me don't want nothing. Really, guys? You're really sure you don't want anything? You're gonna leave it to the squatter, right? All right.
Not only that, so even if they didn't want anything, you could have gotten it, sold it, and bought something better.
Exactly. Don't forget that one. So. Now, the following will not bar squatters from claiming adverse possession. So, if one thinks say, because one did lease the person, the place, or rent them or have a license 14 years ago. So, here what happened now. 14 years ago, when you were leaving the island or you were going to another parish, you said, Miss D, may I lease him a house for 1 year. You write up the lease and you collect the lease money and you're gone. The lease expires. You don't come back and say, Miss D, sign up a new lease for the next year. You do not like that. You don't ever call me, you don't ever say, Miss D, pay the lease. You do not, right? So, what do you think is going to happen? The squatter or the person who you left there is now undisturbed And because you had written a lease 14 years ago, you can't use that and tell the judge, say, oh, you did give them a lease. Your lease have to be up to date when the squatter claim adverse possession. All right? So your lease or your rent or your license must be up to date. Now, if it is that I die and I leave a property to Tony and Rachel and Xander, Tony and Rachel and Xander decide, me don't want a place there. Kind of place there, Bacabusha or Mandeville or wherever. Me don't want it. And them leave it. And 12 years pass. And them don't do nothing. All of a sudden, Mandeville get brand new highway going through the bush now. And this brand new highway is now going near for them, the property where me leave them, where them claim so them no want. And somebody come tell them, Tony, I know so the place value how much million now? You think Tony and Rachel can now run go to court now, them go see a squatter upon it. And them go run go to court now, go say, you need to come off the line, you need to come out. No. Because by that time, the squatter may now claim adverse possession. Because Tony and Rachel and Xander, beneficiaries of my will, did not go to the location, fence it up, run off the squatter, make sure them visit the property every month or every 6 months and see nobody on the panic. Keep and care it, cut the grass, pay the taxes, them don't do anything. So they're gonna have a hard time now if that squatter decides that he's gonna claim adverse possession. All right, mortgages. No, if it is that I have a mortgage on a property, Tony have a mortgage on a property, we're paying this mortgage, and we still have not visited the premises, we still have not fenced it, we still have not done anything, and a squatter decides that he's going to try or she's going to try and get this property adverse possession, we may also have a challenge. Even though you are paying the mortgage, you will still have a problem, right? So these conditions, lease, rent, or license, you're a beneficiary of a property by way of will or estates, or you have a mortgage on the property, it does not bar the squatter from claiming adverse possession. Now, how you prevent adverse possession? Couple things you can do. You must post no trespassing signs and block entrances with gates to keep squatters out. Right?
That's simple enough.
That's simple enough. Post some signs and no trespassing. Give written or fence at the property with barbed wire fence. Give written permission to someone to use your land and get their written consent, acknowledgement. For example, you could give someone permission to park on your land, use a shortcut across your property, or to garden or grow crops. This can also defeat a claim to an easement across your property. So don't allow people to walk across your property for 12, 20 years. I think easement is 20 years if my family remembering correctly. So you allow them to walk across the property for how much years, them can now claim the part of them a walk on. All right, so don't let that happen to you. Offer to rent the property to the squatter, thus making the relationship official, right? As we said above. So go to the squatter and say, I can rent, you want to stay here, I can rent you the property for $2 a month or whatever you want to charge, right? And make the squatter sign it, you have that. So in case the squatter decides to go to court, adverse possession, it won't stand.
Yeah, you make the rent reasonable too.
Make the rent reasonable,
so the
right?
judge would be like, so why haven't you been paying this?
Yeah, you know, call the police. Call the police. Let them know a squatter move on your premises.
You can call the police?
Yeah,
and
call
they
the
do
police. Try to get them out. Call the police. Worse than them just move on. You call the police. Make the police have a record that you did disturb them by calling the police. And the police did go there and say XYZ.
Okay.
Right. Remember, it must be, for them to win the adverse possession, it must be undisturbed. Or hire a lawyer. You might need to file a lawsuit to eject the squatter from the land, or you might want a court to order a structure removed from your property. Now you must act before the squatter has been on your land long enough to make a successful adverse possession claim. So you must act before the 12 years, right? Now how you prevent adverse possession? Pay your property taxes, fence your property, keep your land clear of overgrown bushes. Keep your land clear of overgrown bushes. Visit the property often And those of you with houses, board up the doors and windows, everybody. Put grill upon it. If the place is burned down, board up back. We have had to evict a person in Spanish Town. Remember that one there? This was half-finished building. The father built it. Everybody migrate. This person put a roof on the property. Man, the member and the man of Billy Mouse never finished building it. Put a roof on the property, guys.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, he put a roof on the property and moved into the property, put window, door, everything, and moved onto the property. And actually was raising children as well. So I was the person on the case, had to go to court and get the person off, right?
It was sad though. You have to put out families.
Yeah, it was sad, but so luckily, we were able to really win that case because that squatter never really fight like that. He never go get adverse possession.
Mm-hmm.
But he probably would have won if he had gone to the courts and asked for adverse possession.
Mm-hmm.
No, you need to serve notice if the squatter is on the land less than 12 years. So this is how you recover. Again, report the matter to the police. Take out a summons at the courthouse in the parish to recover possession. And hire a lawyer if the squatter is on the land for over 12 years. All right, so that's it, everybody. You can now ask me the questions relating to adverse possession. Now, those of you overseas, you need to pay attention to the lands that you buy or to the lands that you inherit. Because, as you can see, those two laws assist persons to adversely possess your land or your property.
Somebody said, out of many says, that's some crazy law. Jamaica needs to protect the property owner.
You're not the property owner. You're the holder. Remember, you're not the land owner.
That's the government.
That you're the land holder, which is why you pay taxes to the crown or to the government. Because you're holding this property in keep and care position. What keep and care mean? It can't mean say you abandon the property and gone. You don't pay the crown no money. You don't fence the place. You don't bush the place. You don't do nothing. You just gas source or something, left the place and gone. You can't do that. No, you can't. You can't. So you have to remember, everybody, even though you're named upon the title, you're not the owner. You're the land holder.
Ultimately wants to know, are your land registered in JA tax assessor's office and surveyed before purchase?
When you buy land in Jamaica, you have to survey it, yeah? But I don't understand. What's the question?
Are your land registered in Jamaica tax assessor's office?
It's registered with the titles office. The titles office. And who is also title office have anything to do with the tax office? I don't think so.
I think they give tax office the money that needs to be paid, right?
The property taxes that you pay goes to the local government of Jamaica, who controls it for garbage collection, road repairs, and electricity, street lights, and so on. Mm-hmm. But your title is registered in the titles office. So what you hold in your hand, everybody, do we have a duplicate title you're looking at? You might. Yes, we do, but we can't reach it right now. What you get in your hand is called a duplicate certificate of title. I'll show you one next week.
So how does the squatter get that?
Hold on. You holding a duplicate of title in your hand don't mean squat. Which a lot of you, somebody called me last week and said, Miss Davis, my mother died and my uncle have a title and they won't give it up. That don't mean nothing. It's who is in possession of the property, who is on the land, who is keeping and caring, who is paying the property taxes. Paying the property taxes alone or paying the mortgage alone and so on won't give you the total right. You need to be in possession. So you're in possession if you're collecting rent, if you're collecting lease. You don't have to physically live there. But you're collecting rent, you're collecting lease, So you do up a lease agreement or rent agreement and you say, John Brown must pay me $50 and it never be nothing formal and nothing bossy. Just write it, make John Brown sign it and you sign it. And you have it for sure if them decides them have adverse possession. And anybody can adverse possess you. A family member too can adverse possess you. Some of you have gone and left a property that you have, there's a will. You take with the will and you go and talk about, oh, daddy shouldn't did leave it to Mary. You gonna foreign and you talk about daddy shouldn't leave it to Mary. But Mary living at the house door. Mary can adverse possess you and get the place. You stay there. So you think say the will mean anything like that. You have to probate the will. Right? Some of you sit on wills for years that you have not probated because you think that the person who wrote the will was unfair to you. Not so.
Shauna says, squatters' rights happen a lot in the ghetto. That's true.
Not just the ghetto.
Also, many said, these laws are outrageous. DND is the way to go.
Them are outrageous.
Leon says, remember to put the property house in a trust. Put an affidavit of trust on the title, not the trust form. Protect your assets.
Yeah, protect your assets. We talk about trust. I'm trying to get somebody in here to talk about trust.
Leon says, if you're going away for a while, give the person who will stay in the land a letter advising them that they're staying temporary.
Yes. Write it down. Make them sign it. Right? So that also on some properties, your great grandfather give somebody permission to put a board house on the land and live there. And then write that too. You have permission to put a board house. Them people don't put board house and put concrete house. So you there for you don't even know what going. Grandpa dead now when you come, you see this whole heap of concrete structure on the land and you say, what happened here? But you were not paying attention either. You understand? So you must pay attention to your land that you're going to inherit. As I tell my daughters, I say you must pay attention to your inheritance. Don't allow your mother to squander it or to make decisions that is going to go adversely against you. You understand? You must pay attention, guys.
Chevelle wants to know, what part of a sale would you approach NHT for a CRTD loan to help with the deposit?
CRTD means contribution refund towards deposit. So you can ask them for that money, pay the deposit, to pay the closing costs, which can include your lawyer's fee, the stamp duty, anything to do with closing costs, the bank fees, anything to do with closing costs. But you must approach them from the start. So when you're going to get the loan, from when you're going there for the interview, you must request that loan same time.
Sonia wants to know, so if a squatter takes possession of a property that I bought, does the court compensate me for the cost of the land?
We're laughing. I'm sure you're laughing too.
You've been adversely
possessed.
So no.
No court not going to compensate you for it. Which Jamaican government doesn't cut. They don't even want to compensate you when you do the compensation.
They're just glad somebody else is going to actually go pay the property
taxes. Yeah. Yeah. So she bought the land and somebody squatting. If them there under 12 years, just give them a notice and go to court and get them off.
Leon says,
and do that now.
Leon says, if you have a family member on the land, I gave them a 2-year lease and rent for $1 per year because they will not pay anything. That way you beat the squatter at their game.
Yeah, but make sure you collect the dollar and give them the receipt.
Yes.
And make sure you renew the lease every year or every 2 years in your case. The lease has to be renewed and they have to sign it too. So, and make sure, and with some of them people, they need a witness.
Yep.
Yeah, because they must let them know you never do that.
Or take a photo on the day, a video on the day.
Yeah,
recording.
Take a video and put it for YouTube.
Where it shall always be.
Where it will always be there.
PJ says, my parents died, leave a large piece of land for 7 siblings.
Excellent.
There was no will. One of the brother married. Does the wife have legal claim to the land if he dies?
Of
Yes,
course,
she
the
does.
wife have legal claim to fee portion. So why not go do if your people dead without leaving a will everybody, you can do what is called administration without will.
That's where you go to the Auditor General's office?
No. Auditor General only comes into play if
your children.
The beneficiaries are under 18 years old. Some their children minors, right? That's when they come into play. But if your people them dead leave property, they never leave no will, you're going to do what is called administration without will. And you're going to write everybody's name. So I'll save down the name to go up on the administration without will, and you get a lawyer to do this and administer on the land so that each of your name can go on the title or decide if you're not going to sell or not going to do. Or if it's land, you can subdivide it into 7 lots. So all of your name up on the title, subdivide the land in 7 lots, each one have no one piece and get no one title. That way your brother's wife would inherit his piece. Now, if you leave your brother on it, undisturbed, you'll be adversely possessed by the wife.
Especially she's raising children there.
Yeah.
TJ wants to know, are there any gated communities or new developments for sale in the grill? I see West Island in London, but I'm not sure about the progress on it. TJ also wants to know, what are your thoughts on purchasing a lot near or next to the sewage treatment facility within a development? It's harder to sell back.
Harder to sell back. We have one right now, struggling with. It's right, the sewage is right across the street. The sewage, what do they call it? The treatment facility?
Yeah.
It's right across the street. I actually was going to buy a lot too. And when I got the survey, I realized that the sewage line, the 10-inch main line, was running through the land. They didn't create an easement or create anything. They just put the sewage line straight through the land, and I said, hell no. So I didn't buy it. It's going to be tricky.
It's going to make resale value tricky.
Yeah, resale is going to be very tricky. You could sell it back, but you can't sell it back for the price. The price that it really value. You're going to find that you're going to have to drop the price.
Louis wants to know, how do I get a copy of my land title?
You can go. We showed you how to get a copy of the land title. Tony want to show them, but the internet not working.
No, you can just tell them.
All right,
there's 2 ways, right?
Tell them.
If you just want.
Is he in Jamaica? Hold on. Is he in Jamaica?
Does it matter?
Yeah, it matters. If he's in Jamaica, you can actually go physically and go get it. If he's not in Jamaica, you can go online. So tell him both ways.
So you can go to NLA. What does NLA stand for again?
National Land
Agency. NLA.gov.jm. And you go to eLand Jamaica.
Hold on. You don't reach out yet. Tell him properly. So remember, he doesn't know, so you have to explain it. So how does he get it physically, and where does he go? What's the address or the locations that he can go to?
Oh, that's only 2 places. The one.
Well, in St. Andrews, 2 places.
Those are the only 2 places I know, but
you can go St. Andrews. All right. So everybody, if it's a physical copy that you want to go to the physical location. National Land Agency, they're on Hanover Street downtown, and they're also on Arden Road, which is beside Arden High School. You walk in there. If you have the address, they will look it up for you. You pay $800. You don't have the address, you have the volume of folio, you pay $500. If you don't have the volume of folio, but you have the address, you're going to pay $800. I suggest if you have the property tax paper, take that with you so that they can find it easier. And you pay it and they print it out and give it to you.
If you want certified copies, how much more?
You pay for that if you want it certified. Last time I paid $2,000, I think.
Okay.
For one. Tell them now about online.
Would be to go to the website, nla.gov.jm. Once you're there, you click the icon that says eLand Jamaica, and you can choose two options. The first option is title search, where you put in your volume and folio to look up the title, and then you'll see a cart there where you can pay for it. Second option is if you don't have the volume and folio, you go to parcel search and then type in your address to find it, and then click add it to title.
And they're gonna put that in put the address in either the scheme or the
street
the
road
name.
address. Yeah.
And if you go to the map, you can look. So if you know that you're beside a dam, or you're beside a school, or you're beside, you can use those kind of landmarks and find your parcel as well. So that online is same $500.
The only hiccup with online is that you have to register your credit card before you can use the service.
Oh, you have to register. That's why me just go down to the place and go buy it, So if I really want it, Tony, I can say, Tony, go online and buy it. If not, I will sometimes just run down to the office on Hanover Street or Arden Road and buy it. That's what I'm used to. But the system is not working for us to show you. I don't know why we're not doing my internet. All right. Any more questions? We're up on the time. 2 minutes.
Someone is asking, how long does an administration without will take to process?
Same 1 to 2 years.
Why is that taking so long, though?
Don't know. The courts are full, I guess.
I mean, but it's something like that. They should have just a body that does it.
Yeah, they should.
I think body that does that.
So I think so. Any more questions?
Out of many, our family land was stolen.
What?
Our family land was stolen in St. Catherine by my adopted family member. Adoption was word of mouth only. No one had the money to hire a lawyer. I was a child, so I had no power. You were around. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Everybody, you need to pay attention to your inheritance. And parents, set up proper. Like me, I prefer the route of trust. As who said it? Who talked about it? Somebody talked about it. Of setting up a trust as opposed to a will, right? Because a will can be contested. And when you're setting up your will, let us say you have some wayward kid that you don't want to give anything. Please at least leave them a knife and fork and spoon or a glass of water. Yeah, once you leave them something in the will, they can't contest it. But if you leave them out of the will, they can contest it. So,
because if you don't leave them in the will, they think you forgot.
Yeah.
But you had good intentions to put them in there. But if you specifically wrote that what they're to get, then you have put thought into what they're to get. And you have not forgotten.
You haven't forgotten.
And therefore,
and therefore what? And therefore what?
They have not been left out. I can't contest.
I can't contest. So because you provided
for.
Yeah, you provided for them. And you actually thought about what
to give. Thought to what they should get.
That's it. So make sure you put something in the will to never put something in the will for Xander. And
you have to give good thought to it. You have to say 1 glass of room temperature water.
Why? So I can't just say 1 glass of water. Why can't I just say 1 glass of water?
No, I guess you could, but is that cold? Hot?
Room temperature.
All right. What is it? Like, just like when you write up specifically which property the person getting.
Yeah. Is it flavored water?
Yeah.
Cranberry water? Water. Any more questions?
Yeah, I saw something. I've been trying to use the Elan website, but can't get past the disclaimer page. Oh, you're supposed to accept. What happened? I'm wondering.
It's not coming up. We're still spinning.
What happened is when you go into Elan Jamaica, a page pops up that gives you a disclaimer for the website, etc. Sometimes it's too big and it doesn't show fully on your page. So sometimes if you make your page smaller, you can actually see the button.
Oh yes, that happens. Yeah, especially when I'm trying to. You're trying to use
especially if you're using your cell phone.
I'm trying to use iMac.
Or
what you do is click around it, click out of it, so that, or as Tony says, make your screen smaller. Yeah, so that you can see at the bottom where it says accept, and you accept it.
So Shauna Palmer says, recently paid my mortgage with NHT. Send me my title.
You have to go in and claim it. And then she's kind of slow. Just go in and claim it.
Someone is asking, how long does it take to get title for land? About 2 years.
That's if you don't have any title at all.
Yeah. Jana K says, too much me can't bother when Jamaicans are dealing with property and inheritance. So true. So true.
What do you mean you can't bother? Your parents work hard, buy the place, and then you turn around and you can't bother and go start over?
Yeah, she says too much of that attitude, especially persons who are overseas and have left as children and stuff. There's a lot of property here that needs to be claimed.
Yeah, but the thing is though, guys, listen now. If you leave your mother and father Ghana foreign, right? And another sibling or two, they're left out here, you gone, you don't call mama, you don't send nothing, mama have to dead fear from you, and the other siblings are here taking care of mama, and you disappear.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not that.
When you come back now and mama gone, you know, everybody gonna show you a bad face.
Yeah, but sometimes that's not what's happening. Sometimes your parents take you to foreign as a child. You're like 5 when they take you over there.
Yeah, but
and your parents bought all this property over here that you don't know about. It's not until they pass that you realize that these properties even existed.
No, but when you get big, you're supposed to be talking to your parents.
That's true.
When you come to realize that, hey, what happened in Jamaica, mama? How was Jamaica? Where you did live? You must talk to your parents.
That's why it's easier for parents back then to buy property.
It was
so much easier.
It was so much
easier. You just give a man some money and he'd say yes.
Yes, yeah.
And then the government goes around and put title on them eventually.
Yeah, it's easier to buy. It was easier to buy property back in the day. Them just point and say, this or to this or to this or. Sign up with the JP and them own the property. But a lot of persons have lost their property because they came to another parish. That happened to my father. Came to another parish, came to Kingston, left St. Mary. Barely look on the old people them. Old people them start sell out the place, as Tony say. All right, Mary, from this to this are yours. From this to this are yours. So when them finally decide to go back, nothing left for them. Left up in the bush. All of the front, and guess which property them sell first?
Prime.
The roadside.
And most of them are like on main roads.
Yeah.
And then they just leave one little tiny gate entrance and then they have the property in the back.
Yeah.
And you ever notice older properties, they're just cut up so funny. Like they didn't know a rectangle or a square.
No, it's a wicked triangle. So everybody, you have to remember that the wealth is in the land, right? You hear me talk about land banking? Land banking is what the people with old money, that's what them did use to earn the wealth. So when the rest of us were busy running away from the land or tilling the soil with no real purpose, we're not so sure why we're doing this thing. The rest of everybody else was harvesting and hugging up the land and making sure them have title and making sure them leave proper will for them family members to get, right? Because one of the things you don't know too is that if you don't claim this land, hold on to it, it goes back to the government, right?
And the final question for the day. How do you deal with siblings who live on the family land but don't want to contribute to the property tax?
You want to consider family land. Tony have a term where she says, is it family land or is it dead left land? What's the distinction, Tony? Yeah, Tony have that term. She said, is it family land? And you're asking the people, you know, is it family land or is it dead left land? You have to know the distinction.
Right.
So what's the distinction?
So family land is land that has left by your parents.
Hold on, Tony, hold on.
That has been left by your parents with a clear will saying who should get it or which siblings or whatever must pass down. Then those siblings have probated the will and added their names to that title.
Right.
Therefore, all 5 of you are on the title, you have inherited family land. Dead left land is when your parents have died, right? They either don't do one thing, they don't say who must get it, 2, or they've left a will to say who must get it, but the persons who must get it have not probated the will and gotten their names on the title.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, it's still in the dead person's name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dead left land.
Yeah, good explanation. No. With dead left land, as Tolian says. Who is in charge here now? Who is in charge of this land, and what portion should I pay if my name is not on the title? So if it's 5 of your name on the title, then I know I must pay 1/5, correct?
Right.
Mama dead leave 10 away. Some day here, so some day there, so some day there, so. Some not getting a real benefit because them don't live on the property, right? And when them do come, them can't even get a mango. So their name's not on the title. They don't feel obligated. So if you ball out and say, you know the roof a leak, and it's you alone live there, another 9 siblings gone a foreign and them don't live there, them gone to other parishes, and they don't live there. Who must fix the roof leaking? Mm-hmm. Or who must pay the property tax? As Tony said. So we have to know now, what's the distinction? Is this dead left land or is this family land? Right? If it is family land, then you have all made a conscious effort to probate this will or the administration without will, and all of you have title to the property. But what happens is usually some people don't want nobody else to get no piece of the land. So even though on knows that there is a will left, you still not reveal the will because you hug it up and mama leave the title here and you hug it up. Yet you want other people to help you to pay property taxes and do this and do that and do this and do that. No. You must take charge of the properties that your parents, grandparents, adopted parents, whomever have left to you. You must take charge. Now, usually there's one person in the family who can do this, take charge, collect the money from everybody for probate the will, and collect the money for the property taxes and keep on caring and do it together, right? I said to Rachel and Tonya that you have to work together to maintain your inheritance. If you don't work together and you're disjointed or it's under your back, you're ready to not give trouble.
He's at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So you can probably come.
You can't come and say, but so everybody, we just spoke about adverse possession. If you don't take charge of your inheritance, or not even inheritance, if you don't take charge of the land that you're buying at Jamaica, so you call me, so even, all right, so we sell out Palmetto Estate. How many of you have gone and fenced the land? We sell out Hills of Draxall. How many of you have called? I think I must want somebody. Must see come and fence the property already.
2.
2?
Mm-hmm, 2.
How many of you have cleared your land, fence your property, so that and put a no trespassing sign on it or a no dumping sign on it to say, this is my property now, I don't want a trespassing on it. Those things are important. It's not just about paying the property taxes. And you have to say, if you're overseas, you have to say, Mary, may I send 100 US to your account? I go look on the property for me every 2 months. And you keep up with Mary, and Mary get a report, send you a video, say, okay, good, nobody. You have to do that, man. Remember, you're the landholder. You're not the land owner. And you know, Tony, we should look up some adverse possession cases.
Okay.
And just read them out here and show you how this law can adversely affect you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a serious, serious thing, right? So
and make people never buy nothing, get land.
Yeah, and leave you poorer, leave Xander, your down the line generation poorer, and after the start over. That has happened to us with my father, my mother, and all them people there. So I try my best not to let it happen. No, right? You have to pay attention. All right, Tony, put on our phone. Me no more questions. Thank you so much for staying with us. And next week we'll try to bring on our topic, or maybe
right.
We'll
some persons are asking for a health insurance advisor, so maybe we can speak to someone.
Oh yes, I did talk to her.
Okay.
Yes. I just need to pick up the phone and call. A reminder. Health insurance, yes. All right, especially if you're self-employed, you need health insurance. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Xander, say bye. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
What are you looking at, Xander? Look to the camera right there. What are you looking at? Confused.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for staying with us.